Why is the questioner says, we do not change? What is the root of all this? A civilization like in India, which has probably existed 4 to 3,000 years, a culture that has almost disappeared, which has now become extraordinarily mundane, worldly, money-minded, corruption, and all the rest of it. Why is it that we don't change? If you ask yourself, if you're serious enough, if you ask yourself, why is it I don't change? What is it that prevents us? Is it financial security, which we are seeking? Physical stability? That's one point. Is it that we are intellectually, that is, able to discern, to distinguish, to understand, to be critical, to sustain skeptical outlook on life intellectually, which we don't do? Is it emotionally? We are starved. We are very sensuous people. Sex, pleasure, therefore demand for money, position, power, ambition, and all the rest of it. Is this what is preventing us? Because we're all of us from childhood, from the moment the baby is born, it seeks security. Physical, psychological security. It wants to be safe with the mother. If anyone dislikes the mother, the baby feels it. This is being tested out. In the West, not here. The question is why, realizing all this, do we not change? Or we never realize this fact. We just carry on in the good old tradition, Rama, Sita, Govinda, and all the rest of it. And our brains have become so accustomed to this pattern of living. So it refuses to change because it's very comfortable to live in a pattern. Is that the reason why we don't change? Is it that we have not enough energy? Both physical, psychological energy. We have plenty of energy. You go to the office every day for the rest of your life. That indicates a great deal of energy. The energy that we waste through quarrels, cruelty, indifference. We've got plenty of energy. And again, why don't we change? We know all this. Some of you perhaps have heard this speaker for the last 30, 40, 50 years. and there's very little change. Why? Answer to yourself, sir. Why is it that we have become so dull? Is it the tradition, your religion, your sacred books? I'm asking you, please investigate with me. Is it? Are all these the reasons why we don't change? It's natural and healthy to want security. You need food, clothes and shelter. Everyone does. That's natural. And is there security psychologically, which we want? We want security in our relationship. However intimate or not. We want to be quite sure my wife, my husband remains with me. We are so terribly attached. If one could understand the nature of attachment and with all its consequences and see the very danger of such an attachment which denies love, if one really saw that and drop it immediately, then perhaps some change can take place. But we don't. You hear this, that attachment in any form to anything is very, very corrupting, destructive. The explanation, we can go into it. When you are attached to somebody or to a principle or to an ideal, to a belief, you are not only separating yourself from another, but from that attachment to a belief, to a person, to an ideal, there is fear. There is jealousy. There is anxiety. A sense of possessive pleasure. And therefore, always in a state of uncertainty, inwardly. One knows the consequences of attachment. Now, would you change that immediately? Or just listen, fold your hands most respectfully, and turn up the next day when we talk about attachment? You understand my question? Why? Why are we so sluggish? You ask it, sirs. One realizes that basically, deeply, one doesn't want to change. And therefore, there are various forms of escape. There are not only drugs, chemical drugs one takes in order to escape from one's narrow, ugly, sloppy life, takes them to have more experience and have a different vision through alcohol, LSD, marijuana, all those things that are going on in this world. Why is our mind so dull that we don't see danger and change immediately? Why? Do please. No one says. This is real sorrow. You understand? This is real, this incapacity to bring about a change in ourselves and therefore in society, in our relationship. This incapacity makes one not only time-bound, but we don't flower, we don't grow, we don't move. So what is one to do? Do you want more shocks, more pain, more suffering to make one change? So, there are those people who say, as human beings will not change, therefore, create a society that will control the human being. The communist world, the totalitarian world, the socialist world. The more we are uncertain, as is now taking place in the world, more insecure, we turn to tradition, we turn to gurus, or join some political party. All this going on. If you have realized. So, at the end of all this, why don't we change? Do you understand? Why? Is it the utter unwillingness, the utter stupidity? When you observe all this, right through the world, it's a very sad affair. This marvelous technology, which is growing at such immense speed, and man cannot keep up with it psychologically. And so it's going to destroy human beings. I don't know if you are aware of all this. So what are you going to do? Carry on as before? Probably you will.